Before Slam Dunk, people in Japan really didn't even know what basketball was, but now it's common to just go to an outdoor court and just play. And that's like 90% because of what Slam Dunk did in the 90s. In like 2 or 3 months, Slam Dunk is coming out with a movie, and a lot of people than I expected to are looking forward to it. No trailer I've seen for it broke 1 million views, and one of them's over a year old. They still got a good amount. Most of them are in the 100,000s, so it's not bad, but it's not what I expect for something like Slam Dunk. If it was like a Haikyuu trailer, it will get 1 million views in like the first week probably. I'm not trying to shit on Haikyuu, but it just shows how many people don't really try to explore the anime sports genre. I've seen nobody mention or acknowledge that it's coming out, when it's one of the most influential sports animes out there. One of the most influential all-time animes, honestly. It's basically the Dragon Ball to sports anime, the way Dragon Ball is to shonen, or maybe more like Berserk, because Berserk itself is a really popular manga, but most people see the way it shaped the whole dark fantasy culture and made it cool to do. Slam Dunk was a manga to really blow up and show people that there was an audience for sports manga, and from that point there was a whole genre for it. Hajime no Ippo came around a year earlier, and I like it more than I like Slam Dunk, but its impact was way smaller than it. Slam Dunk was more explosive in popularity, and Ippo was a steady consistent growth over time. Even today Ippo still does good for itself, especially for a manga that's like 30 years old. Both mangas were successful, but Slam Dunk definitely had more impact on the culture. Before Slam Dunk, basketball was basically non-existent in Japan. You would probably have to travel pretty far to find any courts out there, but Slam Dunk basically built an entire generation of basketball fans with their manga. Team Chohoku was inspired by the Bulls around that time, and that was probably the best time to be a fan of them. Inoue had a lot of hints to the Bulls, like the shoe shop where the owner was a sneakerhead, that ended up giving Sakuragi Jordans. It was like peak years for Chicago Bulls around that time, so it turned a lot of people into legit basketball fans. Now they have pro leagues and all that other shit in Japan, so if Slam Dunk was never a thing, niggas would still be playing shogi or whatever they played for sport, and people watching this still are probably underestimating how big this shit was when it peaked in the 90s. Even I feel like I'm underestimating it, even though I'm trying not to. I'm trying to get the whole picture of its success, but it's hard to imagine an entire country getting involved with a sport they had no interest in only a few years, from a manga. Just think about whatever sport is popular where you live, then imagine a cricket anime or some shit like that coming out. Then out of nowhere you see more people talking about and playing cricket. Or if cricket is really popular where you live, be glad your country picked up on a good sport. Basketball never became the most popular sport in Japan, but it's definitely up there. Inoue was just one of the few dudes in Japan that liked basketball, and then he turned the whole country into a fan with his manga. The art is really good too. I read nowhere close to all the sports animes out there, but it's probably the best looking one, just from the fact Inoue is the same guy who made Vagabond, and a lot of people including me think that's one of the most well drawn mangas all time. So if we're thinking logically here, if that art is the same as Slam Dunk, which it is, the art that's supposed to be all time level, it makes sense it's better than everything in one genre. The only sports manga I could compare it to is Hajime no Ippo. Ippo has some good art in it, but it's not Slam Dunk level. And I never heard a sports manga getting praised for its art like that, besides Slam Dunk, so I'm just gonna assume it's the best out there. Even though I'm saying all this about Slam Dunk, it was really hard for me to get into it. I don't know what it was, but at the start I was dead set on watching the anime over the manga. My friend was telling me that shit was dumb, cause either way you have to read the manga, cause the anime didn't finish the whole story, so to finish it you have to read the manga. And then there's the really good art and getting the original story, cause I'm pretty sure the anime changed some of it, so there really was no reason to watch the anime, unless you want some New Game Plus type shit. And I'm definitely not the type of person to rewatch shows for the sake of it, unless I get hit by a truck, cause I'm in an isekai type of mood that day, and lose my memory of like the last 5 years. There's no way I'm rewatching shit and enjoying it, but for some reason, I wanted to watch the anime that badly. I only got to like episode 3 or 4 though, before I realized how dumb I was, and then I decided to read the manga, but for like the first 30 chapters I took a long ass break from it. For like 9 months. I don't know why it took me so long to really get hooked to it. The story wasn't good or bad, but I was procrastinating the fuck out of it. I'm not gonna lie, procrastinating an anime is crazy, but for some reason I did, until I said fuck it, and then I read it. And when I did read it, I read it in like a week. It was really good. You can tell it was one of the mangas to make the sports genre a thing, cause you can see traits of it in basically every sports anime, not in like a copying way, but you can see how they're similar in some ways, like how you can draw a connection from Dragon Ball to a new battle shonen, but it doesn't mean they were trying to copy Dragon Ball, or even conscious about it. You can't really call Slam Dunk or Dragon Ball cliche, when they're the ones who created those cliches for their genres. Most people to begin with aren't big fans of sports animes, but if you watch Haikyuu or something like that, you should try Slam Dunk, especially if you watch Haikyuu. That's like the volleyball equivalent to it. If you enjoyed, go watch some of my other shit about anime. That's all I have to say though. Peace.